Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing.
That's what Attorney General Pam Bondi said after being asked about why she redacted abusers' names in the Epstein files. She's been caught lying about the Epstein case and deflecting instead of answering questions like why she reportedly ordered 1,000 FBI agents to flag mentions of Trump in the files. But her handling of this case is far from her first scandal. In 2013, as Florida's Attorney General, Bondi dropped an investigation into Trump University's alleged fraud shortly after Trump's charity donated $25,000 to a political committee supporting her re-election, even though charities are barred from political contributions. After her role as Florida's AG ended in 2019, she worked for a Trump-connected lobbying firm called Ballard Partners, serving the special interests of corporations, private prisons, tech giants, and foreign governments seeking favorable laws and regulatory decisions. Definitely no conflicts of interest there. She helped Trump on his impeachment defense and later acted as an informal advisor to his 2020 campaign, amplifying claims of fake ballots and cheating, which courts found to be unsupported. Then in 2021, she served as chair for the pro-Trump think tank America First Policy Institute, working on lawsuits aimed at disenfranchising voters, according to findings from the Brennan Center for Justice. Watchdogs and advocacy groups say Bondi has repeatedly used her current role as Attorney General to protect Trump and target his opponents, bringing cases against DAs like Letitia James, former FBI and CIA directors, and media leakers, while dropping cases against Trump donors, allies, and prior lobbying clients. Trump values loyalty to him above everything else. That's probably why he picked her as his Attorney General. Talk about weaponizing.
Also found an email that I have right here from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell that was unredacted, and it included notes of statements that Donald Trump made about his prior relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, there is no reason for this to be hidden from the American people. There is no privilege, there is no attorney-client privilege, and I see you're checking with your staff, and I can assure you, staff, this is not under attorney-client privilege because it was sent from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell. Will you commit to publicly providing the unredacted version of this so that the American people can understand the extent of Donald Trump's lies about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein?
You're about as good of a lawyer today as you were when you tried to impeach President Trump in 2016. Have you apologized for that in 2019?
So will you unredact this? Will you
were
unredact
lead
this?
counsel on that. Privileged.
I'm asking you, will you unredact this?
Privileged.
Privileged, of course. I look forward to discussing this more.
Excuse me, I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question. No. Have you apologized to President Trump? Have you apologized to President Trump, all of you who participated in those impeachment hearings against Donald Trump?
And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me
Yeah, oh, I did tell you because we saw what you did in the Senate.
You're a lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Arlen,
you don't get a reclaimed time when you don't.
Bigger than Watergate.
When I don't answer a question the way you want. Only 2 people voted against it, and you were one of them, hypocrite.
But we're going to move back to you.
I bet we are.
Yes, of course, because you're here to testify.
This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed politician.
Not a complicated question.
Well, I guess it is for you because you have a law degree and those are privileged. Do you even know who Chase Mulligan is? You're so obsessed with, you don't, do you?
I'm going to teach you the rules again.
The whole thing is given a grown-up version of Regina George from Mean Girls. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, hi, Pam Bondi. What are you doing with Keith Frankel? I have a couple questions for you, Pam. How much were the acting lessons? Do the Epstein victims that you cried with know that you're friends with Keith Frankel? Why was Keith Frankel and Jeffrey Epstein talking about body boxes on February 10th, 2010? You've read the files, so I'm sure you can tell us. If Jeffrey Epstein was such a monster, Pam, how come Keith went to his house so many times? One thing that was mentioned in the Epstein files is children being trafficked out of Ukraine. Keith Frankel and his family run a children's home that takes children out of Ukraine. You need to cut the shit, Pam. You need to cut the shit.
All right, I'm reclaiming my time.
Can I give my answer?
So I'm going to put the language of the bill up on the screen.
Chairman, may I give my answer
question.
on that? It's a political
the question.
joke, and I need to give my answer on that.
We'll let the Attorney General respond, and then the gentleman can move to his next question.
It's my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question. Within 40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
There was one redaction out
Where
of
he's
over
listed as a co-conspirator.
4,700,
Okay.
and we invited you in.
Show the video.
This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed politician.
Gentlemen,
You need to
I
get
want
on
you to watch
things
the
matter.
video.
Mr. Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the
himself,
rules here.
there is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals.
Is that your position as well?
My position is any victim who comes forward, of course, we would love to hear from them. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Did you ask Merrick Garland that the last 4 years? Did you talk about Epstein?
I'm reclaiming
at all
my
the
time.
last
I'm
4
glad you're
years?
asking about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim
because
time
this
when
is
you don't-
bigger than
when you can't-
Watergate.
when I don't answer a question the
this
way you
goes
want.
over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion of it.
And that's
now,
where the
I want to
most
know at what
transparent-
point did the FBI and the DOJ decide that Lex Wessner was not a co-conspirator? Because our Epstein Files Transparency Act requires you, please put it back on the screen, please, to release the internal decision about whether to prosecute him or not, and it's not in the files, and it's not in the files for any of these other men.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
May she answer?
And he's a hypocrite because he voted against the ban that we were talking about on deep fake AI porn. Only 2 people voted against it, and you were one of them, hypocrite.
The gentleman's time has expired.